Anand, you know, the fact is that the city's civic body made a list of 2,626 buildings that had encroached stormwater drains in 2016. 1,480 were demolished. However, now you've got the fact that that drive got discontinued. Several of these buildings, because they were managed by influential political power brokers and civic officials, they still exist. So you can, you know, unless you are willing to walk the talk and ensure that all illegal constructions are stopped, how are you going to really fix any kind of problem that Bengaluru has, Anand?
Yes. With respect to rains, Bengaluru is full of hills and valleys. So rainwater doesn't stand here. It just flows away. And we all know that there are a lot of obstructions to the Rajkalways. As you gave the numbers, Rajdeep, thanks for the numbers. So you have clearly told what stands between Bengaluru and this waterlogging. So that has to be done and it will be taken care of. The committee with the cabinet committee and the CM, everybody has met today and they have taken clear stand on this.
No, but did it require a disaster like this for the city to wake up? I mean, that's the worry. You see, with the civic authorities the way they are, it seems to require a disaster and then the wake up comes.
This is not a reactive thing that I'm telling. See, there are certain things that happened in 2016. The demolition drive was stopped only after some middle class, you know, family buildings were destroyed. After that, it stopped. That was the Congress government under Siddaramaiah. Then they stopped it because of the influential people who were backing their government. Okay, and after that, there were certain court cases that went through, and there were certain issues that came up, cropped up. Now things are going to be, you know, ironed out in the coming days. And it's not about being reactive or anything. It's just following the rules and the regulations and other things that has to be taken care of, and then it has to be done. And then one more thing I want to tell India Today team. Have taken very good footage wherein the the overall problem, especially the ring road problem that we are seeing, wherever the metro is getting constructed and other places, we are seeing that a bed has been created, dry bed has been created for the construction activity, which is causing some issues. That also our engineers have noted, and that will be taken care of in the coming days, so that there is water movement on either side. If you observe the footage that you are beaming now, there's a dry bed in between, which is not letting the water go this side, that side. That will be taken care of. So these are some of the things. Small things are also being discussed.
You know, the only thing, as I said, it requires often a disaster for politicians to wake up. Yes, Aishwarya, you want to make a quick response?
You know, Rajdeep, when he talks about what happened in 2016, what happened with Mr. Siddaramaiah, I could go back to Yediyurappa's time of denotification, but let's talk about the past 3 years. Look at how much they have allocated. Even in their manifesto, they promised a unique, you know, a separate branch for Bangalore itself and its infrastructure, 10,000 plus crores. How much have they invested in whether roads or stormwater drains, or even having proper sewerage supply, or even rehousing people who live at lower or areas of risk of inundation? How much have they done for below poverty line families that live at the worst, the most, you know, unhygienic areas, and how much have they pumped into the BBMP to try and improve any of the civic areas? And I think it's unprecedentedly low, and with the government being mired in corruption, I think what sort of civil worker wants to sit and do any tendering for your roads when he has to pay more than 40% into the coffers of the BJP? And that is the reality today.
You know, you said 40%. 5 years ago I was told 10%. Only the volume seemed to increase. Just let me get in some citizens for final remarks. Srinivas, you want to first go? If there was one solution, where would you start, Srinivas?
I just want to make a point here.
You know, at the beginning of the show, you talked about many cities having these problems. You recounted your Mumbai experience from 2005. We all remember what happened in Chennai. It happens in Ahmedabad. It happened in Gurugram, Kolkata. There is no city in India that hasn't experienced urban floods. Bengaluru happens to be the latest in the long list of annual ritual called urban flooding, and if you Google any city name with a boat or flood on it, you are going to get pictures of boats in the middle of our cities. This is something that we must all understand, and then we should understand where is this coming from. It's not Congress, it's not BJP, it's nobody that is currently running the government. It is the fundamental lack of city governance in our country. We don't have a system, evolved system to govern the city. We keep talking about the CM. What did the CM do? What did the PM do? The CM is an MLA from a city which is 400 kilometers from Bengaluru. What happens in Bengaluru does not affect his or her political, quotient or whatever happens to the future of the government in the next assembly elections. So the accountability has to be fixed at the city level, and that needs to be city government. The city government is in Bengaluru, it is called the BBMP. In
Right.
Mumbai, it is the BMC. And these are the bodies that are not empowered, that do not have funds, that do not have powers. We did not have an election for our city government for 2 years. Today, there are no corporators. There is no mayor. It's always the CM. If there is another flood in Hubli and another flood in Mysore, how many cities is the chief minister going to run around and fix? It's just not possible.